You're welcome to another interesting tutorial. Today I'll be sharing with you how I made this vest with a pair of shorts. And for this short, I have my previous video which is up here on how to sew a straight trouser. Just go ahead and shorten the length to become a short knicker. So that's just it for the short. And for the vest, let's get started. I've already folded my fabric into 4. So what I'll be doing is I'll go ahead and mark out my line, and of course this is the center back and this is the center front. I'll make sure I have about 1.5 inches allowance for the center front. So what I'll be taking down first is the length of the top, or the length of the jacket or the vest or the waistcoat, but let me go with the length of the top. So here at the front is kind of longer than the back, so I'll go ahead and add extra 3 inches to that, which will make it to be 27 inches in length. So what I'll be marking out next now is the underbust measurement. That is what I'll be marking out here, the length of the underbust, and of course the half length, which is the waistline. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be marking out the shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I'll mark out 3 inches. Down here I'll come down by 1 inch, and I'll go ahead and connect the shoulder slope. So from this point here, I'll be taking down the armhole measurement divided by 2. This is going to be the bust line. So that's just it. And here I'll be placing the bust measurement divided by 4. Like that, as you see me doing. I'll go ahead and mark out the bust divided by 4, the under bust measurement divided by 4, as well as the waist divided by 4, and also the upper hip divided by 4. But here is the waist divided by 4, and on this my line here I'll be marking out the upper hip divided by 4. I'll go ahead and add 2 inches allowance to my measurements. If after connecting it, I'll go ahead and add 2 inches allowance to that. You can add less, you can add more, depends on you. So from here now I'll slant it like this. So here I'll make sure I have my 1.5 inches allowance. So that's just it. What I'll be doing is that I'll be marking out 1 inch neck depth for the back, and of course I'll be going as deep as 8 inches for the front, but the front is a V neckline, so I'll just go ahead and mark it like that. So here I'll add my 0.5 inches allowance at the shoulder and 0.5 inches allowance for the hem, and I'll create my armhole curve. I'll go ahead and cut it out. So after cutting it out, I have this. I'll remove the excess, and for this particular back here I'll be trimming away this excess. That's just the disadvantage of cutting on directly on the fabric. If I cut out this on a pattern paper, I won't have to waste this tiny fabric. So I'll remove this back like that, and for the front I'll go ahead and retrace the neckline, the V neckline, and of course I'll be cutting it out. But before I cut it out, I want to mark out something here. So what I'll be doing next is that I'll get my measuring tape. Remember, at the center front I add a 1.5 inches allowance there. So this here is my actual line, the actual 24 inches of the top length. So I have about 1.5 inches, and I want to go in by another 1.5 inches, which will make it 3. So from this particular point here, I'm going to be going in just like you see me doing, so like that, and I'll go ahead and cut it out and cut out the neckline. So after cutting it out, this is what I have so far. So I will go ahead and cut out the linings. So I've already cut out the lining. What I'll be doing next is that I want to dart this. I want to dart the vest or the top. So I'll be coming in by 4.5 inches because the measurement that I'm working with, the bust is above 40. If it's below 40, you can go for 4 inches. So remember, here at the shoulder I added 0.5 inches allowance, so I'll be taking that down here. Instead of me to mark out 12, I'll mark out 12.5. And instead of me to mark out 22 inches, I'll mark out 22.5 because of the 0.5 inches at the shoulder line. So here I have 10. If I divide it into 2, I have 5. I'll mark out my half inch. If you want to go deeper, it depends on you, but I'm going with half inch. So I'll go ahead and create the dart. If I want to sew, I'll just fold the line, the straight line, and I'll go ahead and sew the dart. I've already done that on this other side and also on the lining as well. So I'll go ahead and get the back. For the back, I'll just be coming in by that 4.5 inches. No seam allowance at the center back, since it's not going to have any zipper. So from here, I've already have mark out that 0.5 inches there. So I'll be taking accurate measurement that I want. I'll mark out 9 inches and I'll mark out 22 inches in length. So I'll go ahead and check what I have there, and I have 13 inches. When I divide it into 2, I have 6.5. So that's kind of my center of the line. I'll mark out the half inch and I'll go ahead and connect the dart just like we did to the front, just that the back one is always longer than the front. I've already done that on this other side, but I'll go ahead and connect it just like you see me doing. So after sewing the dart, this is what I have. So what I'll do now is that I'll go ahead to place the jacket or the top right side facing right side, and I'll go ahead and stitch down the shoulders. I'll go ahead and stitch down the shoulders together, right side facing right side, and I'll be taking away that 0.5 inches allowance I added earlier. I'll do the same thing on the lining as well. As for the welt pocket length, it should be 18 inches, which is the half length measurement. The video I made wasn't that bright, so just go ahead and add the welt pocket. So after adding the welt pocket, what I'll be doing now is that I'll be turning this top or the vest with the lining. So I'll get the main fabric, I'll lay it down like that, right side. I'll get the lining and I'll place it on top of it like that, right side facing right side. I'll go ahead and stitch down the neck and the front, center front, all the way down to the hem. All the way, I will stitch down the center front, the neckline, and I'll stitch down this other center front to the hem. Then I will stitch down the armholes. I'll stitch down this armhole and I'll also stitch down the other armhole as well. Just go ahead and I'll go ahead and do that. So after doing that, this is what I have. I'll clip where I'm supposed to clip and I'll notch where I'm supposed to notch. So that's just it. So after clipping and notching, what I'll be doing is that I'll go ahead to turn this inside out. So after doing that, for me to turn it inside out, I have to, put my hand through that place and just turn it inside out. So after turning it inside out, what I'll be doing is that I'll hold the armhole like that. The lining should be on one side and the main fabric should be on the other side. And I'll go ahead and shape the vest, the side seam. I'll be shaping it with half an inch. I want it to be a little loose on me. So after shaping it out with the half an inch, you see we have the inside to be neat and we also have the main fabric to be neat as well. So but on the lining here, I have a little opening here where I'll be turning everything inside out after hemming it. So what I'll do now is that I'll place the lining like that and the main fabric like that, right sides facing right sides together, and I'll go ahead and hem the vest. So after hemming it, this is what I have. So I'll go ahead to that opening and I will turn everything inside out. I'll turn everything out to the right side. So after that, this is the opening. I can go ahead and hold it down like this and stitch it down, or I'll just leave it open. So here I'll go ahead and mark out my buttonholes and also where I'll be attaching the buttons as well. I'll do that and of course give it a good press. That's just the final look of the vest. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell. Happy sewing!